It has been almost a year on Mars now. We have settled down with our lives. The only entertainment we have here is to visit the Earth. We all have timely visits to our motherland in order to keep our bodies healthy and our minds sound. The visits are important so that we can live out of the spacesuit, breathe without an oxygen cylinder, walk with bare feet, and feel the air, the warmth of the place. Walking on the sand felt like a dream. I wish we can make our second home as good as Earth. Ethan and his team were trying hard to find a solution to this problem. After all, not everyone could afford to visit the Earth. Those unfortunate people were not in good health. I enjoyed every time I went back home. The feeling of entering my home used to feel like heaven. Every time I visited my place I used to adore it. I remembered the days I would say to my mom that I have nothing to do and I am bored. I never acknowledged what I had. Well, now I know how home feels and what is love. These short visits would buck me up. I felt back to normal. These visits kept me out of depression. Ethan and his team first thought of covering the whole planet with a shield that can bear the pressures inside it and would not rupture. But the main problem was still there. There was no oxygen. The oxygen we had was coming from Earth because still, the supply was not available on Mars. We still had to get it from the Earth. Secondly, we were facing problems with fuel, as the distance between Earth and Mars was too much. This calls for some fuel manufacturing on Mars. Scientists found life on Mars when they were successful in finding water on the planet. NASA started testing of water to practice an idea they had. They thought of making oxygen out of the water. Water is made of 2 moles of hydrogen and 1 mole of oxygen, and if passed through experiments we might be able to extract oxygen from water. There was enough evidence on the topic on Earth. The scientists, when the thought of colonizing Mars, also started thinking survival basics on Mars. According to some studies and researches are done in the past eras showed that the idea was possible. There was always an indication of life on Mars after all. Electrolysis is a method of splitting up compounds. The method NASA used to split water was also electrolysis. Water would be passed by a current. Water will contain a soluble electrolyte solution which will break the compound into hydrogen and oxygen, releasing them both at separate terminals. The research also stated that the process will take place in an anti-gravity place under the sunlight. What could be better than that? We were at a zero-gravity place and we had sunlight reaching to us. The experiments had started. The first experiment came out positive. After this NASA started to make oxygen and hydrogen from water. The problem was solved and a plus point was that the hydrogen released in the process could also be used as a fuel in the spacecraft. This discovery became a significant step in the new life. With this discovery, NASA made a whole new section of oxygen manufacturing. The local oxygen manufacturing also lowered the cost of oxygen cylinders, as it was not coming from Earth anymore. Water was abundant at Mars, and if we ran out of the water, we can get some from our old place, the Earth. While on Earth flying seemed like a fun activity, but now it feels boring. Moving from one place to another on the pace of the space was much time-consuming. We had cars but we avoided them because of fuel shortage, but the electrolysis of water had solved the problem. The fuel produced as a result of the electrolysis of water also lowered the cost of transport, because we were making it locally now. The offices on Mars were now developing with good speed. I applied for a job and got selected. When the offices started getting bigger, they added stories in them. A concern here was a lift. We were able to move from one floor to the other one because of accessibility to the escalators. But the offices here were not even equipped with stairs. After all, who walks here? The scientists got a solution to this problem too. They started making wormholes in the office. Those wormholes were like a cherry on the top. They fit perfectly in the office buildings. Using the wormholes was like an amazing experience. It can teleport you in no time. We had installed wormholes, but they too needed a system to work. If someone is trying to go to the 4th floor and he finds himself on the top floor, this can make things complicated again. We still need to understand the system of wormholes. Like which wormhole will be transporting to what place. Things are getting better on Mars. We are settling down and trying to keep ourselves occupied. Now we need schools here. For the children who are studying. Right now they are having online studies. They are waiting for their schools to open. The main reason we all feel bored here sometimes is that the days and nights here are a bit longer than Earth. Earth was revolving in a smaller orbit than Mars. This adds up a few hours in our days. Our new clocks tell us we have 10 hours in a day. Everything took time but it was sorted out. I don't think coming to Mars was a bad idea. I wished he'd find more comfort here. I am looking forward to the day we will be able to walk here and breathe in free air. The success we have gained till now gives me the hope of a much better tomorrow.